You know, I think the thing that's really captured the nation's attention with this tornado outbreak here in Nashville is just how close to downtown this is. I mean, you can see the skyline and you look over just a little bit and there is devastation. So I want to bring in one of our crew members here, Brittany Edney. She is from WGCL, our sister station in Atlanta. She's downtown on Jefferson Street Bridge right now, or very close to it at least. Brittany, when you were coming into town, what struck you about the devastation where you are?
Lauren, I think you nailed it right there. From where I'm standing near the Jefferson Street Bridge, if we do a 180-degree pivot, I'm going to show you the difference from this beautiful skyline of Nashville and then the Department of Human Resources over here, just in pure shambles this evening. With that much damage done to a building, think of how vulnerable human beings were over here underneath this Jefferson Street Bridge last night into the overnight early morning hours with that twister tearing through those side streets heading this way. Many of them bunkered down in some of these silk thin fabric tents that are still amongst some of this debris and warped metal underneath the bridge. But that's what people were relying on to keep them safe. A very scary situation. One of those residents here joining us live, Michael, you know, you told me as soon as you saw that twister coming your way that you got on phone with 911. What were you saying to that representative you spoke with?
It was actually before I could get any words out other than tornado. I look over to the west and I just see a massive black cloud coming right for me. I was given very little time to prepare. I grabbed up my dog, held her in a shopping cart, and went on a ride that could have very well been my last.
And I mean, you had a stranger on the phone with you with what could have been your final moments. What did you guys talk about? What kind of support did you have from another human being, someone you didn't even know, in those uncertain moments?
It was definitely a scary moment. Having the 911 dispatcher there eased the loneliness a little bit, but it didn't eliminate the fact that it could be my last time ever speaking to someone. I was on the phone with someone I don't know. They don't know me. But the fact that the 911 dispatcher, while I was waiting to be rescued, sat and actually prayed with me, definitely lifted a big burden off my shoulders. And then to see the lights of the first responders coming really opened up a world. I knew I was going to be okay. I was really worried about the people I camp with and whether or not they were going to be okay. It was very unsettling not knowing who was hurt, who was trapped, what friend of mine I could have lost.
And, you know, I can just feel the emotion just pouring out of you. And this has been such a difficult and scary day. But look at just a few feet away from you. Everyone at home, Michael literally bunkered down in right next to his tent. And then the next thing you knew, while you're on that phone, you were being twirled around and ended up getting buried underneath a pile just like this of metal, of stuff that looks like it came from atop of the Department of Human Resources building just a few feet away. What was it like waiting for those responders to get to you? How did it feel being trapped underneath a pile just very similar to this?
Well, it was definitely a very scary moment. The 30 minutes felt like hours. I was starting to say prayers that I was going to be okay. Unsettling as it was, I can't change the past, but I can only work toward the future. The bridge looks a lot better than it did just several hours ago when I first did my interview. We've been working nonstop. We've got more resources coming in tomorrow. We've got contractors that are going to bring out bobcats and chainsaws, and we're going to try to get this blooming little tent city we had going back up to, you know, the little beautiful place it was, you know, what few of us call home. It's very difficult to look at it now and realize you don't have anything else.
Earlier this afternoon, Michael told me it struck a very personal chord. He said that he felt kind of forgotten underneath this bridge. And in the past few hours, we've seen a lot of volunteers. You can see the pile of resources coming out from water and simple necessities, but also some warm treats, that coffee and Dunkin' Donuts, pastries just coming through in the past 10 or 15 minutes ago. But volunteers also trying to make their way out to this camp that heard about what was going on, even asking our crew, hey, we want to get there. We saw that you were there. How can we get access to where people like Michael are so we can come and show that support? Hearing all of that and seeing the love that's been coming out this afternoon, how does that make you feel? Do you still feel like you were forgotten under this bridge, or has this kind of changed your viewpoint on humanity a little bit?
From the neighborhood where we're at, it's very economically secure. There's a very big outcry right now. A lot of support from the people who normally treat us at the worst are actually coming around and, giving out what little they have left to help someone like us, which is nice. So, it doesn't change my perspective on humanity a whole lot, but it definitely is a start to, people doing the right thing. And a community is only stronger if we band together.
Can you describe a little bit? I mean, this is a situation that many people luckily will never be in, but the force of that wind, what happened? What do you remember feeling when that was coming through?
I remember being pelted with rocks. It got very, very chilly. At that point, it was time for me to, make a quick split decision in what I was going to do, and I decided to shelter myself next to a shopping cart.
We are just so glad that you are safe and have been just sharing your heart with us this evening, Michael. We really appreciate it. I can also tell you, along with those volunteers bringing out those supplies, there are other nonprofit organizations working hard to get access. Logistically, it's kind of difficult to get a truck out here for some hot meals, some warm meals, but people are trying. The effort is there. And right now, as a lot of these side streets are taped off and we have police officers keeping a lot of those larger vehicles out, people are working to make their way here to Michael to help out during this time.
With chainsaws, able to work, can come and help us out.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Reporting live in Nashville, Brittany Edney, News 4.